this is what it costs me per mile. Well, you're going to run this many miles per week. This is going to result in this many per month. And then our fixed cost on a monthly basis is XYZ. Okay, this is what we need per mile
onto I-10 West
to operate profitably. So if you're a new owner-operator, or you're thinking about becoming an owner-operator, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about your cost of operation, your cost per mile. You have to know your numbers. But when those people start breaking down the numbers and showing you how to measure things, you come across a problem. You're measuring, like in trucking, you can, or in any industry, I mean, I guess it needs to be driving related, but you measure things on a weekly or a monthly basis, and then you have other things that you measure on a per mile basis. So the problem you encounter is when you go to squish those numbers together, it doesn't work. You have to make assumptions. So you've got to assume like X number of miles per week, for example. You gotta say we're gonna run. I mean, and for it makes more sense for a larger company to do things like that, because they can look at historical data and they can look at it across thousands of trucks, and so they can say, all right, that's a true metric for us. That was true for us historically in the past, like first quarter of 25 or first quarter of 26. I mean, they've got so many numbers to look at. They can dial it in and get an accurate picture. If you're a single truck, if you're looking at the first quarter of 2025 and you want to compare it to the first quarter of 2026, your experience can be drastically different. Like, it doesn't even make sense for you to try to, you know, make a prediction or analyze numbers. Like, a single breakdown on your truck is going to have such a big impact on your numbers. That changes everything. If one Swift truck breaks down, that's not even a rounding error, you know? So, I mean, it does make sense to know your cost of operations. I mean, you probably want to figure that stuff out initially.
In half a mile, keep right.
But I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time doing it. Because at the end of the day, what is it going to tell you? Let's say you know your cost of operations. Let's say after you figure up all the math, your truck expenses, trailer expenses, insurance cost, you figure everything out. And you come up with
a quarter mile, keep right.
Some number. Let's just say $7,000 a month or $6,000 a month, whatever. And then you got your personal expenses you factor in. You're like, okay, we need to make this on top. So you know your monthly cost, and then you've got to figure out, okay, what does it cost to run your truck on a per mile basis?
Keep right.
You know, diesel cost, everything like that. And then you got to squeeze those numbers in together. And you got to estimate the number of miles you're going to run. We're at a border checkpoint here. I got the go sign up, so they've been doing this a lot. They don't even want to talk to us. But okay, so let's say you know your cost of operation. Even knowing that, it doesn't really help you a lot. And this is why. Let's say you figure up everything. You're like, okay, this is what it costs me per mile. Well, you're going to run this many miles per week. This is going to result in this many per month. And then our fixed cost on a monthly basis is XYZ. Okay, this is what we need per mile
Merge onto I-10 West.
operate profitably. Let's say it comes out and you can operate at $1.
For about 51 miles, continue straight.
$1.40 a mile is your break-even point. How does that help you? How does knowing that you can operate your break-even point? I'm not saying you shouldn't know it. I mean, you should know it, but how does that change your decision-making ability in the future? Does that mean when you look at a load that's $1.45, if you didn't know your cost of operation, you wouldn't haul it. You would haul the $3 a mile load. But now that you know you're making 5 cents a mile, oh, well, we can haul cheap freight now. Why wouldn't you always just haul the most profitable freight possible? Why wouldn't you always haul the best paying freight in the areas you like to haul freight in, you know, and the type of freight you like to haul? Why wouldn't you just do that all the time? And spend as little money as possible. I mean, if you just combine those, I mean, that's what you should be doing. So whether your cost of operations is 58 cents a mile or $1.38 or $2, what are you going to start hauling cheaper freight because you know you've got a cheap cost of operations? I mean, so my truck and my trailer are both paid for. So my cost of operations went down a lot. Do you think I'd just start looking at a bunch of cheap freight? Like, yeah, well, now I can haul freight for 70 cents a mile. Sign me up. Heck no. I mean, in repairs and breakdowns, that's all a shot in the dark. Like, you have no clue what that's going to be. I mean, I remember when I first started, I was shooting to spend less than 25 grand a year on maintenance and repairs. And then one year I just came up and I'd spent like 12 grand. I knocked it out of the park that year, and I shot for 12 grand the next year. I ended up at 20 grand. Like, you have no idea. And what are you going to do? Like, try to do fewer oil changes to save a few pennies here or there? If you're saving money on oil changes, I think you're making a mistake. I mean, that's pretty small dollar amounts when you look at, I mean, I do like 12, I've done more than 12 oil changes in a year before. I do them every 10,000. So I don't mind throwing money away on oil changes. I'd really like to throw a lot less money away on insurance. That's what I'm shooting for this next year. Anyways, I'll shut up. If you got different thoughts on cost of operations, if you think that's like a critical metric to always be aware of and be tuned into, let me know. I mean, I used to have spreadsheets. I used to keep up with stuff like on a weekly basis, and I found it's really just not important. It doesn't, like, if it can't help you make a decision, you're wasting your time doing it. That's my thoughts. If you feel differently, let me know. And if you've got a certain formula you use and you feel like it's like just a rock star formula to really keep you aware of things or help you make decisions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. I'll see you next time.